The biggest club in the Netherlands, Ajax of Amsterdam. Johan Cruyff has got his own stadium and they're a club of unbelievable history. But last season, after losing the greatest manager of all time in Erik ten Hag, they had an absolute stinker, coming third in the Eredivisie, 13 points behind Feyenoord. And we're going to set a youth-only 5-season rebuild of signing players under the age of 18, using this fantastic Ajax academy and hopefully rebuilding them back into the Dutch giants they are. Can we win a Champions League? Can we win a Europa League? Can we win the Eredivisie 5 seasons out of 5 seasons? Well, that is all to come up in this video of an Ajax youth-only rebuild. What's going on there, guys? Kempy here and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another rebuild from myself, and it's another realistic rebuild, and this time it's Ajax. It's an Ajax realistic youth only rebuild. Now we know Ajax love building players through their own youth academy and eventually selling them on for lots and lots of money. A few examples of Matthijs de Ligt, Frenkie de Jong, to name just a couple. I mean, Ryan Gravenberch has moved on to Bayern Munich, and you know, they're a fantastic club. If you've ever been to the Netherlands and to Amsterdam, you must have been to the Johan Cruyff Arena. It is absolutely beautiful. I've been there myself and it is stunning, and it is only right that Champions League footballs and titles are to be lifted in that stadium, and that is the goal of today's rebuild, but doing it through only signing players under the age of 18. I'm not quite going to have an as strict sort of set like I did for the Barcelona one of like 5 players, 7, 9, 11. I want to get it done quite quickly, so we sort of till season 3 maybe we have a squad like you can see now that is full of youth only players. Now a few notable players in this Ajax side that I'm looking to keep around for a very long time is Kenneth Taylor, fantastic midfielder, 21 years of age, has really come into his own in the last couple of years. Fantastic midfielder, 6 foot tall, value already of 67 million, so maybe someone that does look to move on, and I will be pretty much moving on anyone that in this issue section wants to move to a bigger club, because again, it's realistic. You know, in a couple of years time, it's hard to say what's going to be realistic, but if they're performing well at Ajax, it's more than likely they're going to move on to a massive club. We've also got the main man, Brian Brobby. Now, I think this guy is fantastic. Signed for 14 million after leaving to go to Leipzig for free. Didn't quite work out for him. Come back to Ajax and now signed for 14 million pounds. And he is going to be a mainstay in this side, hopefully for the whole 5 years. Again, he never really progresses amazingly on my saves, but 3-star current ability, 4-star potential is through the academy. Might be the best striker we get the whole time. Them two are the 2 cover stars. A few other players we've got is Devin Wrench, 5-star potential, 3-star centre-back. We have got David Klaassen, who's actually a Ajax young player. Obviously, it seems like he's been at Everton, Bremen, but he is known for his time at Ajax. We've got Kenneth Taylor. Berghaus isn't, Tadic isn't, Bergwijn isn't, Mo Kudus isn't. We are looking to get rid of him. Again, realism. He is linked to moves away, so I think this first season he'll probably end up staying, because I'm not sure if anything's going to come out of them Brighton links or not. But the academy here at Ajax is fantastic. I mean, this is season 1 off the bat. We've got Mauricio Van Axel Dongen, who is fantastic, is linked to Manchester United. Ten Hag wants to bring him in. Fantastic young left winger. We've got Silvinho Voss, 5-star potential, amazing defensive midfielder. Rayan Buendia looks good, but only has, well, I say looks pretty bad and has some fantastic random stats like 17 flair, 16 technique, 16 first touch, 16 dribbling. He's a panna merchant. He's going to be unbelievable at flip-flaps, but maybe not much else. Nashi Univar is a 5-star player. This guy's been around for years, it seems. I mean, I seem to always used to be able to sign this guy at 16 years of age. He has now really come on his career. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. I imagine he'll be around for a long time as well. Juro Harto, Sky Vink. I've seen him become unbelievable on one of my Manchester United rebuilds back a few months ago. Gabriel Missenhoy, Girouni, Avery Afaya looks fantastic as well. I mean, sorry if I'm butchering some of these names, but you know, I am not an absolute whiz kid. Transfers wise, I don't know if I've made any. I haven't made any, but I have made the realistic outgoings. So Juran Timber has left at Arsenal for £40 million, it looks like in real life. Edison Alvarez has gone to Borussia Dortmund for £30 million as well. Yuri Riga and Stanis Mumbo have also left Mumbo with only 4-star potential, and we got like 3 million for him. So it was good to get him out. £75 million in the bank. Finances are not going to be an issue here. We're not going to be spending outrageous money on youth players. It's going to be fairly reserved, but, you know, bringing in the best talent from around the world to come and play at Ajax. We've got 17 new facilities, 18 training facilities, 19 youth coaching, 19 youth recruitment. There's not really a better club where you can bring in talent and, you know, allow them to nurture as much as we're going to be able to here at Ajax. We are favourites to win this season, and like we saw in the Barcelona rebuild, this first season is going to be the easiest, because after this, you know, Tadic, Bergwijn, they're all going to start leaving, and it's going to be a season where it sort of ticks over, where we're just full of 18-year-olds, and we're going to try and win it with kids. So if you are interested in this one, stick around. We're going to go now to the end of season number 1, and hopefully we've lifted the KNVB Becker, the Johan Cruyff Skal, and the Eredivisie. And you know what? Why not even a Europa League? Season 1, let's get right into it. Well, if you guys can, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow on all for these wonderful things as well. We've got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, obviously subscribe on YouTube's second channel. We talk all things United and general football stuff as well. Recently been in a couple of United podcasts with Sci TV, and I work with the Sloppy Joes as well. So much content coming out of my ears. Maybe eventually streaming again, but, you know, we shall see. But if you guys can, make sure to, you know, get over to all of them things. It helps massively. And also, we have some legends on the screen right now from Patreon as well, where they'll be able to access this rebuild file. Now, you can join for, I believe, £5 a month, and you can join and get this rebuild file for yourself, like you can with all of them. The United rebuild, the Barcelona rebuild, the Spurs, the Arsenal. There's so many rebuilds coming out. 3 a week actually. So you can get them rebuild files down in the Patreon below. Massive thank you to the legends on screen now. You are literally helping make my dreams come true, and obviously you've helped massively to get a brand new PC, which is coming next week. So, you know, these are going to be so much better for me to record, because it's not going to take me, I mean, this has taken me 12 hours to make in terms of simming. So I can't wait to have a PC which doesn't take me 12 hours. So, you know, anyone that's going up to that, you are literally helping me massively, making the content better and everything. So thank you so much. Season number 1, well, I wanted to win everything. We won the Eredivisie, 84 points. Like I said, it is the easiest season we're going to have. Brian Brobby with 30 goals is extremely impressive. Very happy to see him doing absolute wonders. Worth £30 million. Like I said, potential and current ability is stuck at 3 stars, but 22 years of age, more and more game time. He's going to get better and better. We're going to keep an eye on this at the bottom right. You probably can't see it, but 27 appearances and 30 goals. Hopefully we can grow that as much as possible. He was second in average rating. Mo Kudus was third in assists. Brobby third in player of the matches. And Geronimo Rulli was top of the clean sheets. Obviously not an Ajax Youth Academy player, but helpful to have him for this first season. We've brought the title back to the Johan Cruyff Arena, which is fantastic. 83 goals scored this season, just 18 conceded. Not quite as impressive as our tactics here. We're conceding just 12 goals, but a very impressive season nonetheless. And I'm very happy to see we have won the Eredivisie. Europa League, we got knocked out by Brighton, which is very frustrating. They lost in the Europa League final to AC Milan, but Brighton, a very good club under Roberto De Zerbi. We ended up losing that one. We did win the KNVB Becker, a 5-0 victory against FC Emmen, a Kudus goal, Steven Berghaus treble, and a Davy Klaassen goal as well. And then in the Johan Cruyff Skal, we did end up coming runners up, losing on penalties to Feyenoord. Slightly frustrating, we didn't get to win the Dutch treble in the first season of Arskin, but a very decent first season. In terms of players coming from the academy, we have already moved them up. We've got Juan Antonio Gonzalez, an American, 5-star potential, 17 bravery, 17 natural fitness, centre-back who's 6'4" at 15 years of age. Has somehow ended up in Amsterdam. So hopefully Juan Antonio can become very good for us. And same as Daniel Seminjevic, 20 determination, Romanian 6-foot centre mid, has got 4.5-star potential ability, but this guy I think can go places, because that 20 determination, level-headed and driven personality is fantastic. He gets into the opposition area and dictates the tempo, and as one of these centre mids on the box-to-box, he'll be fantastic. So hopefully we get to see him fulfil that potential. And also Mustafa Aliou, 17 determination, 14 finishing, 14 first touch. He's not the quickest, the lads, but you never know with that sort of finishing, a Ruud van Nistelrooy kind of guy. Obviously that's more PSV than it is Ajax, but a Dutch striker with fantastic determination, great finishing, possibly can see him doing absolute bits as well. Skyvink went out on loan mid-season to RKC Valajik, scored 4 goals in 12 games, which is quite impressive for a 17-year-old. So we'll see if he can come back in and make much of an impact. In terms of selection info, if we do look at the appearances, Kenneth Taylor made 48 with a 7.1 average rating. Devin Wrench with 45, 7 average rating. David Klaassen, 44. Kik Pierre made 39 games. He's, not got the greatest potential, is ended up probably going to leave the club quite soon, but a decent enough centre back to come in the Eredivisie. Mo Kudus with 38 games, Brian Brobby 34, 39 goals and 3 assists is fantastic. Branko van der Boomen obviously signed from Toulouse in real life, has done decent. Nashi Univar with just 3 starts but 28 off the bench is very, very good because he's going to grow massively, I can imagine, so very happy to have him as well. But first season has been quite good. I'm now going to go ahead to the end of season 2 and I'll show you guys the transfers, I'll show you guys the sims, I'll show you guys everything all at once, and we'll go forward to season 2 and hopefully we've won the league again. Like I said, it starts off easy but it gets progressively harder, so make sure you're sticking around for season 5. Let's get right into season 2 and now let's try and win another trophy or 2. Well, the outburst of sales has started and Mo Kudus has left for £34 million to Juventus, Bergwijn to PSV for 15, Darami for 13.5 to Sheffield United, Francisco Coenchao, he's a fantastic young player but he's not Ajax through and through. I would have loved to keep this guy around, but he has moved on to Monterrey for £15 million. We've got Branko van der Boomen going back to Toulouse for a couple of million. Calvin Bassey has gone on loan to PSV. Berghaus for £5 million to PSV. Kik Pierre has gone to FC Twente. And that is it pretty much in terms of the sales, as well as Kian Fitz-Jim actually has gone to Man City for £7.5 million. Not got the potential, has straight away been loaned out to Blackburn and not really got the ground running. So good to get a bit of money for the young player that's not going to fulfill any potential. We have made 5 signings in this first season. Lenny Euro is number 1, French centre-backs. Obviously, he's now 19 years of age. We are 12 months in the future, but signed at 18. 40 appearances this season, which is fantastic. A lot of them in the second team as he is ready for the B team, and Young Ajax have won this league, which is exactly what you want to see. 87 points from us there, which is great. He played lots of games in the B team, which is fantastic. Wisdom Ame has played 39 appearances, some in the Eredivisie, some in the Champions League, some in the second tier of Holland, and he has been everywhere and a fantastic young player as well. Signed from Bologna, 5-star potential. Hopefully he can burst into the starting team next season on a full basis. One man that certainly has burst into the starting team and is such an Ajax signing from Copenhagen, £9.5 million. He's going to get snapped up quite quickly. He's already got a value of 70 million. It's Rooney Bargi. He's the most signed player in FM this year, and it's a very Ajax signing. So 15 goals, 17 assists, replacing Mo Kudus very, very well does Rooney Bargi. Ingo Baumgart has been brought in, the first regen signing, Austrian right back. Okay, potential. Thought he was going to be a bit better than he was, but a decent enough signing for 1.4 million. And Luis Tamayo is another goalkeeper that's been brought in, 5-star potential, which is very difficult to find in a goalkeeper, which is why I snapped him up as soon as I could. Now he's got £1.2 million is all we spent for him, 5-star potential, already worth £20 million. Hopefully Luis can turn into an absolute masterclass. And in season number 2, we finally won the Eredivisie again. We finally won the Johan Cruyff Scala, but no, we did not win the KNVB Becker. We still have not won the treble of Dutch trophies, which is very, very frustrating. But we do win another double, and we've completed all the trophies as well, which is, basically a treble for 2 seasons. Champions League-wise, we got knocked out in the knockoff player round to Atletico Madrid, 4-2 on aggregate. Very, very strong side. I'm not expecting to win the Champions League. It'll be lovely if we did, but it is going to get harder and harder from here. Kenneth Taylor still doing absolute bits, really doing bits. Brian Brobry, 37 goals and 3 assists in 44 games. We already said about Rooney Bargi. Unbelievable. Very, very good player. Dusan Tadic, 14 and 6. David Klaassen, 6 and 6. 1 and 5 from Sanchez. 1 and 8 from Owen Vindal. Devin Wrench again playing lots of games. Nashi Univar this season starting 26 and 15 off the bench. So he is certainly developing into a very talented young man. Silvino Voss, 18 and 13. Again, really getting into his own. Akbet Kaplan, a backup centre-back, playing a few games. Joel Haro. Avria Fia's getting more. Missenhoy's getting more. Van Axel Dongen. Not quite sure if he's going to get anywhere. Determination's dropped quite a large bit, and you know what? He's not grown as much as I hoped he would in these first 2 years. So we'll have to see if much is going to come from him. In terms of the 15-year-olds that have come up, Juan Antonio Gonzalez does look good. Played 46 games and uncompetitive games this season, and a very, very good average rating. Milan Vanic is a player that's come through as well. He's played 31 games non-competitively, 8 goals and 12 assists from right back / right wing. And then is there anyone else in the development centre that I've not brought up yet? Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, there is. There's Andreas Langfield, 5-star fullback, looks fantastic. We've got Dimitri De Vries, very, very Dutch name. He looks very good. Striker, 13 finishing. See if much comes of him. Denis Mujlanovic. That is an absolute butchering. Dutch goalkeeper, 6'4", 5-star potential. So that is exciting to see. Maybe we're not going to have just the one superstar. But next season, I think, is going to be, again, another massive overhaul of players. We've still got some players here that need to move on. Tadic, Rulli, Klaassen can probably stay, to be honest. But Sanchez, Vindal, they're going to pretty much all have to move on. And once we've moved them on, the 1, 2, 3, 4 players, it's already there. Like I said, I wanted to make it quick. I wanted to get into this, high potential young team very early on, and that's what we've managed to do. There's a bit of money at the club, £166 million, 1.86 million in wage budget. I mean, if we put that into trying to find the best player in the world that we could possibly sign, we could go out and we could sign Mbolo, Patrick Schick, Paqueta, Levi Colville, Angelo's 20 now, Matteo Guendouzi, Dacia Fofana. So this save is going to be fun for whoever picks this up in the Patreon, certainly. I mean, £325 million in overall balance as well. So money is not an issue. Youth, we have got lots of it. And hopefully now we can, again, clear out everyone that's not Ajax. And for Season 3, we can have a fully Ajax blood and under-18 siding side. So let's go forward now. Another 12 months. Season 3. Can we win the Eredivisie for 3 seasons in a row using just this sort of style of play? It'll be tough, but let's see what we can do. Well, like I said, the clear out is going to carry on, and Jorge Sanchez, Dusan Tadic and Giacomo Rulli have all left the club, and it's just Owen Windal left. And to be honest, I think that's because I got confused that he might have been an Ajax youth player, but he's certainly not. He's PSV, so he does move on eventually, but I think at this point I hadn't quite remembered that. The only signing we made for this summer was João Fonseca. Now he's a very, very good young 18, well, we started as 16 in the game, but we signed him 18-year-old, 28 appearances, 10 in the Champions League. Very, very good young Portuguese centre-back. So for £3 million from Benfica, absolute baller. Very happy to get him in and over the line. Already a value of £10 million, but that was the only signing we made. In terms of the under-18s that are still at the club, I mean, it's just an absolute fountain of unbelievable talent coming through all the time. I think I'll just show you guys when they make appearances. Otherwise, we could be here for a very long time. Did we end up winning the Eredivisie again? We cleared out the Eredivisie too much. We lost it on goal difference. And it would have been our treble as well, because we won the KNVB Becker. We won the Johan Cruyff Scroll 5-0 against Feyenoord. The Becker, we won 3-1 against FC Emmen. So we've won that 2 out of the 3 seasons. We've won the Johan Cruyff Scroll 2 out of the 3 seasons. The Eredivisie 2 out of the 3 seasons as well. Annoying we didn't get to win that and finally complete the treble. Champions League wise, knocked out in the playoff round by Benfica. Again, I'm not expecting too much in the Champions League. Be very, very difficult to win that with what we are looking to do here. But potential wise, I mean, you can see it's just an absolute line of 5-star potential with a few players down there which do need to be slowly moved on, and it looks like one of them is Brian Brobby on 3-star, but he's bagging 23 goals and 4 assists in 41 games, and to be honest, there isn't many unbelievable strikers coming through the academy, and I do really like Brian Brobby as well, so he shall be staying around. In terms of getting appearances, Devin Wrench with 47, David Klaassen 47, Wisdom Ame 45, 1 goal, 5 assists. He is now unbelievable. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, 20 years of age, signed from Bologna. He's played 40 games for the club now and looks fantastic. So a very, very good signing in him. Rooney Bargi with 12 goals and 17 assists. You can see he wants to move to a bigger club, and he's not the only one as well, because Kenneth Taylor also wants to go. So I have said, if this happens where players want to leave to go to bigger clubs, I'm not going to stand in their way. So it looks like Season 4, no Kenneth Taylor and no Rooney Bargi. So 2 massive sales are going to be heading out of the door. Owen Windal, 43 games, need to replace him. João Fonseca, 42, 41 for Robbie. 36 and 2 assists for Avery Afia. Now this guy is through the final academy, signed in 2020 to Ajax, and has been very, very good for us. Very happy to see he is doing absolute wonders, playing many, many games in the DM, which I'm sure is an absolute dream come true for him. Nashi Univar is going to get that brand new contract he's after. 34 appearances, 7 goals and 6 assists. Happy to see him doing bits as well. Van Axel Dongen, 12 goals, 20 assists. Is not becoming the player I wanted him to. So we'll see. Still 5-star potential. Gabriel Missenhoy, Lenny Euro, David Kallock. Luis Tamayo is the young goalkeeper we've signed. Is probably going to now be the main goalkeeper. Jay Gorta played lots of this season in goal, but he is now gone. So Luis Tamayo is going to be the #1 goalkeeper next season. Joel Harto, Silvinio Voss, Daniel Seminovic is now starting to get match time. And how good does he look? His stats are absolutely outrageous. That 20 determination is working absolute wonders. 17 first touch as well. What a central midfielder he is. Jan Faberski is here. Sky Vink isn't really getting anywhere. And then we've got all of these as well. Now, if you're wondering how I'm developing these Wonder Kids and why they're all in the first team, it's because I've watched the Zealand video on how to develop your Wonder Kids. And this seems to be the best way to have them training with the first team, but available for the under 18s or available for the B team based on sort of ability and age. Again, I command you guys to go and watch that. It helps massively in developing your Wonder Kids. And there's a reason they're now starting to break into the side. And that's because the development has been on an upwards trajectory from the very, very start. And that's because of the legend that is Zealand. I mean, under 18s, potential everywhere. We've just looked at them. B team, there's still potential everywhere. I mean, young Ajax have won the league again. So I think that's, 2 years in a row for young Ajax. 83 points there. Jaden Bannell bagging the goals in. No potential, but he's still doing the bits for the young Ajax team, which is fantastic to see. And season 3 is over. We've lost the Eredivisie title. There's something to go and get back, and maybe it's time to get that treble done. Season 4, let's get right into it and maybe make a few more signings to bolster this unbelievable academy of youth players. Well, I mentioned there'd be some big outgoings for Season 4, and Rooney Bargi to Bayern Munich for 44.5 million got us started with Kenneth Taylor and Owen Windale both heading to Borussia Dortmund for 43 and 30 million pounds. Calvin Bassey finally went to Al Ittihad for 11.75. David Klaassen left to Atlanta United for 3 million, meaning 132 million pounds was brought in, and we now have 319 million pounds in transfer budget, 3.63 million pounds in wage budget, and we just can't spend it because it's under 18s only. But we have managed to sign a few players. Wando Mbele from Kaizer Chiefs has been brought in. 2.5-star potential central midfielder. Played not many games this season, but a very good young player looking to get some game time for us. Kelvin Abubakar has also been brought in. He's back out on loan at the club he was at. What a signing. Guess how much for? Oh wait, £425,000. And how did I sign him? Well, the recruitment focus is how I signed him. I get rid of all the ones that I don't care about, and I do the 15 to 18-year-olds, and I literally scout in different places to show you what I do in Africa. I have it as the minimum current ability at 4-star silver, minimum potential ability at 3-star, 15 to 18 ongoing, and set it out for the whole season. I do that in all the continents, and you end up finding some wonder kids exactly like him. And this was quite a good sort of find from Africa as well. We had Abubakar Mbele, and we also had Makoba and Emenka as well. So there was 3 from Africa in that one sort of big window. So 1 million on him, 400k on Makoba as well, another decent potential South African player. And Jorvan is a goalkeeper from Brazil. Again, trying to get these potential goalkeepers in because you never know which one's going to blow up. So we have to see how good we can get. We also signed Murillo Gnonto from Athletic Mineiro, £11 million. Very, very good central midfielder coming to replace Davy Klaassen. Played 17, 29 off the bench, which is great for his development. Fantastic stats all around as well. And hopefully he's going to be an absolute world star one day, already worth £40 million. We've already quadded what we paid for him. Francisco Remiao is giving me such strong sort of Ajax vibes. Signing a player from Brazil, 17 years of age, 18 years of age when we signed him. 17 flair, 16 crossing, decent finishing, unbelievable pace. it's given me strong sort of Anthony vibes in terms of a young Brazilian with unbelievable flair. 43 games, 9 goals, 10 assists this season already. Fantastic. Buzzing with that one. Jaroslav Huna has career one as well, a backup left back, Czech Republic, 19 years of age. Great determination and bravery. £5 million we paid for him. And Paulo Dene Vincente, another Brazilian centre-back. Great jump and reach, balance, technique. Great defensive stats as well. And then anyone else who sold was Devin Wrench, left to go to Arsenal as well at the start of this season. So we brought in 170 million worth of players. Devin Wrench to Arsenal, £45 million. Again, come up with that wanting to leave because he's too big for the club or whatever. And it did hurt us this season, I have to be honest. A very difficult season. 3rd place in the league. It started very rough. We lost 5 of our best players in one window. Bargy, Klaassen, Wrench, and the other one, Kenneth Taylor. We lost all of them in the space of like 2 weeks. So it definitely hit us at the start, and we eventually crumbled back to finish at 3rd, joint on points with PSV in 2nd. Champions League got our best performance yet, round of 16. Sadly, we played against Real Madrid and got battered. Kevin Becker, we got knocked out of the 3rd round by Vitesse, which is frustrating, but we did win the Scal on penalties to final. But certainly a much more difficult season number 4. I mean, the squad's looking fantastic. I absolutely love having saves like this. The Barcelona save was great fun. This is even more fun for me because I know I can play. All of these players are 5-star potential. There is 20 of them. And I know I can play them all. And it's absolutely fine. David Kolko has 5-star potential flat, already worth £40 million. And it isn't even like playing that many games. He's just here. He's just one of the lads. And the rest have got a bunch of 4.5-star potential players, and then you've got a few older ones. And Brian Brobby is at the bottom of this list again, but 46 appearances, 26 goals, 3 assists. Slowly going down a little bit in stats, but I think that's just sort of the end of season waiver, what happens. He's an absolute baller. 97 goals and 123 appearances. He's an absolute legend. 7 appearances for Holland already, so very happy to see Brian Brobby finally getting his name on the map a little bit more. Potential ability-wise, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Even if you look down here, a bunch of 5 stars and 4.5 stars. B team, a bunch of 5 stars and 4.5 stars. And in terms of the actual youth academy players that are coming through and playing games, if we set this to general info first, set it to age, set it to selection info next, we can see Juan Antonio Alvarez played 5 games off the bench this season. Milos Milic played a game. Abubakar played 27 games out on loan. Daniel Seminovic, 37 appearances this season, 2 goals and 8 assists. 3.5-star potential, current ability, 5-star potential, of course, worth £93 million. Yeah, he's quite good. Come through the academy. Luis Tamayo played 49 goal appearances in goal, conceding just 42 at 19 years of age. What a signing from Lierske in Belgium, now worth £45 million. Who else we brought in? Aloui hasn't played any games. Huna played 30 for the academy. For Ramal, we've already spoken about. Nonto played 17, 47 for Fonseca. We've got anyone else here for the academy? Afia played 44, which is great. Harto playing 35. 41 from Lenny Euro, 45 from Missenhoy, 6 goals and 3 assists. So very good to see him getting the game time as well. David Kalko, 13 and 29, 38 for Nashi Unavar, 35 for Kaplan, 46 for Brian Brobby. It is an Ajax club through and through, and if we head down to the age of the club as well now, I mean, the oldest player here is Brian Brobby at 25, Kaplan at 24, a few players at 23, well, one at 23, a couple at 22, and it's just under 21s. And it's just an unbelievable bunch of potential. There is, I believe, 50 players, 49 players, 46 players in this list, most of them with 5-star potential, all at one club. And I mean, there's more down there as well. £550 million in the bank, £320 million if you wanted to try and spend some of it. I'm sure we can make that even more. 506 with, not much wage budget. Good fun it could be, couldn't it? If you guys do want to pick this up, you don't have to stick to this youth only that we have been doing. But I mean, there's so much youth talent out there. You literally could. 15 to 18. I mean, just looking here, Tempestini, Barragan, Fuentes. We're going to see if we can go and sign some of them now for season 5, and hopefully we can win that treble, and maybe even a European competition, because spoiler alert, I thought we were in the chat Europa League. We are going to be in the Europa League for season 5, so let's try and win that one as well. Season 5, let's get right into it. Can we get the treble? Can we complete Dutch football? Wonder Kids only, and under 18 signings with Ajax. Well, to finish off this Ajax rebuild, if you guys can, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, head down to the Patreon, it's at the top of the description down below if you want to pick up from Season 5, or if you want a specific year. I had someone ask me yesterday, just at the start of the Spurs save after the signings that I had made, if he could pick up from there, and I can send him that game file. So if you want this from Season 2, from Season 3, 4, let me know, I'll send you the game file, and that is updatable on the Patreon down below. Season number 5, we did, like I said, we won the Europa League, a 2-0 victory against Newcastle. And I think we should watch this game because Francisco Romanião scored, Brian Brobby to score the last goal of our little save. It's fantastic. Like I said, I really like this guy in real life. I thought he was an absolute talent when he was linked to head to United. Obviously ended up going to RB Leipzig. Very, very good to see him doing bits. Let's just set this up. Nashi Univar down the left-hand side. Going to cut it back in to Harto. He's going to get the ball in the box. And Romanião, the Brazilian right winger, is going to scoop it onto his left foot and put it in the top bins. And then this time a goal from the back. It's Barragan, who we saw earlier. Fonseca finding the Romanian Seamarak, plays through Brian Brobby. He blasts it across the keeper. And Newcastle, with all their riches, can't beat little old youth-only Ajax. A very, very good performance from us. Newcastle probably deserved to win, but guess what? They didn't. They got done by our 79 points in the league. We won the league as well. We won the KMVB Becker penalties against Feyenoord, so good to get that one over the line. And signings-wise for this summer as well, we made some great signings. Wisdom Ame left to Barcelona for £32 million. I mean, an absolute talent. He wanted to leave again. Like I said, I'm not going to stand in his way. And then in terms of signings we made, there's a few of these that are old. So let's filter this by, oh God, I can't see it. So we've got Juravan, Makoba, Emeka. Moran is a brand new signing, £5 million. Centre mid / centre attacking midfielder. I mean, the flair on him, the dribbling. Only played 21 games off the bench. This guy is just here, and he's fantastic. He's just about. I mean, you could literally use him anywhere in the team. Thomas Barragan we saw there in that 19 determination, 16 decisions, great pace on a centre-back as well. Argentinian, the new Lisandro Martinez. Cadiz Sriracha. Now, I am very, very surprised this guy hasn't seen more game time. Picked him up for £1 million. And when I signed him because he was very, very similar to Luis Tamayo, if not better. 16 shot stopping and hasn't played a game for us. Tamayo is now worth £80 million and this guy is better. What on earth? Classic Football Manager things, but he's just here at the club. Tempestini, again, we saw a second ago, young centre-back, played 40 games, including bench appearances for us this season. And I mean, in terms of just how many good players you've got here at the squad, if we just do all of this, because it is just basically 5-star potential players, there is a whole 50 players for you to feast your eyes on. If we set this by that as well in selection info, who's playing the game? Tom Barragan with 47, 40 overall for Tempestini, and Moran with 21 off the bench, 10 and 14 from Sebastian Prete, another brand new signing, brought in to maybe try and replace Brian Brobby. Didn't get much for looking, even though he's got 17 flair, 20 determination, 17 finishing. He still didn't get in the game much game time, but unbelievable player that you guys will be able to use. Scored 5 goals this season. Kevin Abubakar, only 5 off the bench. He looks fantastic. Just use some of these players. They will literally be unbelievably good. Luis Tamayo now looks fantastic. Again, we just sort of compared him. Worth £80 million and he's 20 years of age. So he is very, very special. Not too much game time for the American we signed. We got for the academy at the very, very start, but could definitely be useful for you guys with that 5-star potential. Still only 19 years of age. Romanião with 9 goals, 17 assists, becoming a much more well-rounded player. See what we can get out of him. Either-footed winger, looks brilliant. Who else we got? Nonti, 16 games, 33 off the bench for David Colacar as well. Cesar Fuentes is one of the best players we signed this summer. Chilean midfielder, played 8 games already at the age of 19. Looks fantastic. Great all-round stats. And yeah, it's just one of the many unbelievable players. And the last player I want to look at is Daniel Seminovic. He seems like the guy that I've gone to the most. £89 million in value. 17 pace, 18 determination, 17 first touch, 16 vision, 18 balance. You saw the assist he got for the last goal in the Europa League final. Absolute talent. Can you keep hold of him? Well, you'll have to let me guys know. Get sure you're getting down to the Patreon below. Give this little save file a go, and obviously it helps support me massively. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, head over to Sortitoutsi because tomorrow is the Feyenoord, exactly the same as this with Feyenoord rebuild. So that's going to be some great fun as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.